Hello, everybody. It's me, Lorene, and I'm with my beautiful co-creator, Siris, wherever she is on your screen. I don't know.
Hi.
She's here on mine. Oh my goodness. We've been having so we're just like go do 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 and then it's like do, do, do. We've just been having so much fun having our weekly creation meeting, and we were sitting here going, you know what, we really have to do a video about this.
Yeah.
And yeah, we've got this awesome set of calls, 5 of them, oh my god, 5, coming up in August, that we are just so excited about it, talking about, relationships and creationships. And the title of the series is called Is Your Relationship Fantasy, Nightmare, or Perfection? And the thing that's really popping for us at the minute is that relationships are not just about romantic stuff. It's not just you and your partner or your insignificant other or your joyful other, as I love to call my partner. Joyful, delicious other is another word I have for him. And because he is pretty delicious.
He is. I can vouch for that. Yes. Not personally interaction, but just being around his energy. Let's be clear.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Before I start taking my body back to the bed before we've had this conversation,
you can be there and here. Be there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
What would that
He says I'm not already.
Girl.
But what we were really wishing to dive into today with you all is this element of creationship with your work colleagues or co-creators, and your friends. And this is something that Siris and I have developed over the last, what is it coming up? A year, 2 years?
2 years?
Nearly 2 years now. In November, it'll be 2 years since we've physically met each other. Oh my God. How amazing is that? And there's this element of success in relationships that we can now acknowledge. And so, Siris, would you like to chat a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, one of the things that I love about our creationship and just our dynamic is that we're constantly doing acknowledgement. We're constantly choosing to acknowledge what works and be aware of what doesn't, and then being willing to change that. And so that's been something that I've added on as a piece of what I consider success in any kind of dynamic, with family, with friends, with coworkers, with enjoyable others. If there's not that space of gratitude and acknowledgement, it doesn't really work. It's not really sustainable for me personally. And I really enjoy that about us, because not only do we meet each week to check in on all our different projects and things, but with that weekly meeting, it's not just right to business. It's also what's going on with you, and let's celebrate together, and what's working, what's not working. And just having this, I can't think of one call we've had where there hasn't been some form of expression of gratitude. And it's so wonderful, whatever time we connect that way. And so what people in your lives do you have that you're grateful for in any area of your life? And
that heart-swelling moment,
yeah,
where you just go, yay, yay. There's just so much I am super, super grateful for, more so now than ever before.
Well, and there's an interesting point of view that comes up for some of us, where I've heard it, I still have been hearing it quite a bit, even just this week, where it's like, oh, you have to go through the shit, you have to go through the bad to appreciate the good. And it's like, yes and no. For both of us, given our childhoods, our journeys in this life, there was always an aspect of gratitude. At least that's my sense of you. I'm not and that's definitely been the case for me, where I've always been grateful for my friends and for my family. And I didn't need to have bad interactions with them, quote unquote bad stuff go on with them, for me to feel like I'm so grateful for you to be in my life.
Yeah.
The yes part to that, where I may agree with some aspects of it, is those are just reminders. Those moments when it's crunchy, when it's difficult, they remind you. It's an invitation for you to acknowledge those where you don't have that wonkiness, where you don't have that tension. And it's like, oh wow, it's so we had a wonkier moment earlier this week, and I was still super grateful for you all through that time before it. I didn't need the wonky moment to be grateful for you. And and then as soon as it shifted, it's like, oh, there we are again. Hi.
There you are. Hi. Yeah. And whether that be like your filters or my filters of shit at the time, it's like, even when it's my filters of shit, it's like, and I can't quite see you, when it moves, it's like, hi, there you are. And when it's your filters of shit, I still go, hi, there you are.
Yeah, thank you for that. Truly. And the same thing happens though with, like, we've both had not great friendships, and we've had also other great friendships. We've had wonderful past relationships, be it with family and friends and enjoyable others. And we've had a lot of them that have not been great as well. Maybe they started off wonderful and then they kind of ended not so wonderful. Yet we were able to be grateful for those people, and we're still grateful for them now. That's the other piece that I love, is what if we could actually be grateful for the people that have hurt us?
Absolutely.
And be grateful for the people that haven't hurt us. And it's just,
indeed,
it's all a contribution. It all added to your awareness. And I just get so much awareness every time we talk, every time we interact, every time we choose to create something else. And so actually taking a moment and acknowledging who, for anyone who's watching this video, who is it that you could be grateful for, that you've had that success where they've contributed to your awareness in some way. If you look at success as, wow, well, I got tons of awareness from that interaction with this person.
Absolutely. Even if it's at a quote unquote negative interaction, there's often gifts of awareness around that. Even if it is a negative thing that might make you feel tired or grumpy or sad or whatever. Yeah. Like, one of the fastest ways to shift energy is to be in gratitude. So it's like, if you really are having a crunchy moment with someone, whether you've even spoken to them or not, if you can actually stop and go, hang on, find one or two things that you're grateful to them for. Even if it's, I'm really grateful they left me the fuck alone today.
That kind of, are you talking about earlier this week, Lorene?
I'm just, in general, sometimes it is a case of something simple like that. It could be, I am actually really grateful that they showed up that way. So now I can trust that that's how they're choosing to show up in this 10 seconds. Okay, there's no more confusion there anymore.
Yeah.
Because I know, certainly for me, when I've been wonky or crunchy with someone, it's more because I'm confused about their intention or me creating. Yeah. Me creating shit in my head because I'm like not necessarily communicating what I'm aware of, because I'm like, what is that? And then it's having the courage. And that's one of the things that I love about our creationship, is that we've actually got the courage to speak up with each other and acknowledge when even the energy is wonky, when we've got no actual words there.
Yeah.
It's like, there's something not quite right here. Is everything okay? Are you all right? Am I okay? And we tend to go into question more often than conclusion of what something is. And I know for me, there's been a few moments where it's been like stuff's come up and I've not quite been willing to necessarily look at it yet, but you have been and you're aware of me. And so you'll say, hey, and that takes courage on your behalf to like be willing to go and be vulnerable and receive whatever I come out with.
Yeah.
You know, because how often do we go into that space of not wanting to ask someone when something's wonky because you're afraid of what they will say?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I know that that still sometimes pops up in my world.
Yeah. It still does, even though I'm willing to choose beyond it. It's still an exercise in courage, in vulnerability, in
trust as well.
Yeah, and trust, and you'd think it'd be trust in you, and there is a piece of, I'm going to trust Lorene to be who she is. It will also recognize that you're constantly evolving and shifting. But and more, it's actually trusting me to be able to perceive and receive what's actually true, no matter what you say. Because like you said, sometimes you don't really have words yet. You're not really clear on it yet. And so me asking and being like, okay, so what she just said, is that actually true? Like, is she really okay? Are we really good? Or is she still actually angry at me or something? Is there something going on there that we need to talk about? And so far, like that's worked, and it just keeps building that muscle in me to trust who I am. And I wonder just how many more people would create relationships and creationships that would work for them if they actually had more confidence and trust in what they know and in their everything that they're receiving. For me, that's been what's changed the most, and what's created a lot more nurturing and kind relationships and friendships, and even my interactions with my family have changed, is because I'm willing to trust what I know more, and I'm willing to let people go that aren't nurturing and kind. While before I would try to hold on to them, and I would just suffer through it and try to work my way through all these friendships that were really, they were taking me for granted, or some of them were actually kind of abusive, and family dynamics and things, and so that's success to me too. It's like, when it's like, okay, where have we been successful with relationships that we haven't acknowledged, that we've actually been ignoring? It's like, wow, more and more I'm willing to be successful with a relationship of me, with me, and have all of me, no matter who I'm creating with and who I'm interacting with. And then people pick up on that.
Yeah, there's certainly an element of attraction when you've got a great relationship with you. And like, people go, ooh, wow, she seems to have got it together. I wonder what information she has that she could share with me. So maybe I can be that too. And it's not about duplicating you. And I think that's the difference between how we function in the world and maybe what others do, is that we're here to empower people. And it's and empowering someone to make their changes in their life. And we do it from no point of view. It's like, that to me is our success in our relationship as well. Is like, we're coming up to the last few calls in the intimacy lab, and the success for me, and I'm pretty sure for you too, is the fact that this group of people have just changed and shifted so much. They've chosen so much. And we've had the privilege of being a part of that, of empowering that. And it's not like we're telling them what they have to do. They're choosing it for themselves and doing it their own way.
Yes, that's the key thing. It's each individual, it's showing up so different.
Mm.
And it's been so cool. It's like this kaleidoscope of possibilities that have shown up with the bravery that they're choosing and being more intimate and present with themselves and having a relationship with themselves that they, for many of them, given what they've said, they never considered possible.
Yeah.
And it's shifting everything, be it business, their dynamics with their families, with their, what they're choosing with relationships or not choosing with relationships, and really looking at, well, what do I actually even want a relationship? Like all of these things, and their bodies are changing. It's been amazing. It's been really amazing. And to also be willing, the two of us, to receive all that change for us as we were going on the journey with them. And that's one of the things that I love about when I create with anybody, when I'm willing to receive from everybody. And more I'm choosing that. There's still a bit more to go. I could have a lot more receiving, and I'm going to acknowledge that. And what would it take for that to show up? With the Intimacy Lab, one of the things that has been amazing is we've changed so much since we started in February, just as much, if not more, than the people participating in the group. And they see that, because we're doing all the exercises with everyone, and we're opening up our chests and laying down our hearts and be like, this is what showed up for me this week. And really through example and experience and our choices, we're inviting them to a different possibility. And so I would love for more of that to show up in the world.
Exactly.
What would it take?
What would that take? And so we just really like to encourage you guys to have a look at those people around you that do have your back. Even if the only person that has your back is you.
Yeah. It starts with you.
And then it's like, acknowledge that. Go, wow, I'm so fucking grateful I've got me. Even if it's, I'm so grateful that I'm breathing today.
Yeah.
So I remember my granddad used to say, any day above ground's a good day.
Yes.
So he's basically saying, if I can get up in the morning and I've got my feet on the ground and I'm standing upright, bloody good day today. So
and it may even be someone in the past too. So maybe maybe their body is not here anymore, but you could actually be grateful for them. There are definitely some family members of mine that have passed away that, man, did they have my back.
Yeah.
And so grateful for them.
Absolutely. And how successful was our relationships with them, simply because they had our back. So it doesn't have to be an interaction with them every day. It doesn't have to be an interaction with them every week. But, I've got people in my world who I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that at any time I could turn to them, and if they can help, they certainly will. They've got my back.
Yeah.
And even if the helping is simply just offering me a cup of tea while I cry, that sometimes is all it requires.
And then on top of that too, it's also like, maybe it doesn't have to be having your back in totality all the time.
Correct.
So one of the things that almost all of my friendships in my social group were horrendous. When you looked at it in the big picture, think it was a long time ago now, thank goodness. But I remember, because my mom gave me a gratitude journal. She's like, be grateful. And I was trying to look at my friends and all of that. And I realized that I could still be grateful for the snippets of moments when they had my back, even if they didn't always have my back. And that helped a lot with family too. There'd be these moments where they would be loving and caring. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What would it take to have more of that? And it's okay if they're not, it's not always what they choose.
Mm-hmm. And
And
that's totally you being an allowance of them too,
yes,
which is actually you having their back.
yes, and your own.
And your own.
Because
Yes.
then you're not resisting and reacting and even agreeing to all of that they're choosing. It's just like, okay, that's just what they're choosing. And
Mm-hmm.
now I know what having my back is. If you ask yourself, what does that even look like? Who is it, can I be grateful for that's contributed to me? You can have the energy of that and then ask for more of that to show up, and you'll know what it matches instead of only focusing on the times when they didn't show up, when
Yeah.
they went back on their word, when they hurt you, when there any kind of wonkiness that we talked about.
Mm.
I could let the moments of wonkiness eclipse my friendship and creationship with Lorene. And I would do that for what reason?
All right.
There's so much more of it that's awesome and amazing and a contribution, but a lot of us have this tendency to focus on those things, those few or maybe not so few moments where it's not fun and it's not great. And what if something else was possible? What would it create if you actually looked at the places to be grateful for someone and then choose other people that have that energy?
Exactly. So there we go, my friends. This is a quick little snippet from the both of us, and we warmly invite you to tap into these calls that are coming up in August, from August 22nd through to September 8th.
Yeah, 'cause there's
As you're
5 calls.
5 of them, holy moly. And they do shift around a little bit in times and days, so that you can hopefully get on all of them, or if not all of them, there will definitely be replay.
Yes.
So excited about this. If you're interested, click on the little link that'll be in the description or something somewhere.
Somewhere this
And
way. Yeah.
this way or that way, or wherever it is. And we look forward to seeing your beautiful, beautiful faces in a month or so,
Mm-hmm.
or whenever you see this.
Yeah, basically.
Sometime soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.